door, there was a tavern, and it was leased by John Howlett. And he could have been operating it as early as 1730. You know, I know that when we've been here before for paranormal, we tend to take it from 1822, because that's when the house was built, and then, you know, go future from there. But there was a lot going on here before this house was ever built on this property and right around the property. The courthouse was across the street. The courthouse was across the street. And Benedict Arnold was over here with the British Army, and he burnt every building he could find, including the courthouse. They had to redo the courthouse after he left, because he was leading the British Army. So it's always had a lot of activity. The court was rebuilt. This was right across from the court. You know, people came to the court, and it was very inconvenient for people to come to the court and then leave at the end of the day, because it took so long to get here from the outer places in the county. There were taverns, several taverns. John Howlett is the most known. In fact, John Howlett's tavern was about where the Walgreens is now, and it sat on the creek back there. This property was some 700 and some acres. There was a grist mill. There was you know, all the usual mills and corn cribs, and there were cows. You know, another thing I'm going to say, you know, when we do a paranormal activity over at the jail and the museum, we did one year around the courthouse grounds. I don't know how many of y'all were here for that, but that was pretty active, because that was the place for people to come, as long as they used that courthouse. And they would come for the day. It would take them 4 or 5 hours to get here. They'd set up a picnic blanket, the kids would come, the families would come. It was like a family see your neighbor day, kind of like the fairs we have today.
And the proximity sensor, I guess you saw Ben, how they work downstairs. Yeah.
I just know that there's nothing marked. But our cemetery committee They also had a mill house, but it's down the way, and it's a big.
Cool things that I've been on so many properties around the middle Atlantic region, attic to crawl space, radical basement, or whatever it's that. It's neat to see how they're similar and how they're different, and where because they're all museums and stuff, where they're storing things and where they expect it.
Back to metal, something with wall, answer all the touches metal object. I have a metal plate. Metal plates. And it comes with all three of those pieces.
Are these all like sensors too?
That the one with the launch proximity sensor?
I did.
Just like that, and next to the antenna. 30 seconds. Got a volume control. Volume's up. You can change it.
Because the names, we start talking to you, the tripwires started responding, and your AirPods, and we were just talking to Terry, and she said that one of the names that came up for the will.
Many generations of
The will.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Yeah.
We had a good time.
Cool. Yeah, you guys missed all the action that was in there. There was 7 different entities talking. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
When the kids were in.
You did? Okay.
They love the tripwire.
Just being small. I didn't even have you guys.
For sure.
So you guys do your own investigation? Do you like?
They go with they've come around us for a long time.
We like
I love how they investigate, so that's why tonight I said a small group. Let's just let everybody have a free for. Usually with our bigger groups, we'll break off into smaller groups just to try to keep everybody together. But I noticed everybody here is a seasoned investigator, so we just said, you know what? Let's just have fun. And I knew you would like that. I know you guys would like that.
Because we get more activity by ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. There was too many people asking questions on there, so I feel like that's what was happening in there.
Did you go outside any at all, or
Not yet, we just
because another couple just went up?
Yeah, we didn't want to move around too much, they were saying that.
Yeah, they said there was a lot of upstairs in the kids'
Because we kept hearing walking around upstairs, it's like they must not be getting anything as they're walking
It
around.
wasn't us.
I might have walked 2 steps to
Yeah.
pick something up and drive back. I might have stopped to move some equipment around, but mostly it was in her chairs and the actors.
But it was the strangest thing, so we thought, because we had the tripwire, as soon as we
Yeah.
set it down on the main bed, we
Okay.
get some lights. And
The one with the quilt on it?
Yes, it kept
Yeah.
flashing.
We
It kept
went,
flashing.
we did it, because we wanted to
I wonder if
reset
there's
it.
one up there.
And then, so we thought every time we did it, it would do that.
So
So
we
we
said-
put it on the small bed, and everything was pink.
Just like it's supposed
Okay.
to start.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. This is how we want it to look like over here. So we took it to
Put
the
it down, just let it be pink for a
Turn it
minute,
on.
and then we can do what you want.
And then I said,
And then
okay.
we said, play with it now if you want to, and I stepped back and I went,
And one interesting one we did in that bedroom, I believe it was last year, a couple was singing in French and had the music dancing like it was, the lights dancing like it was, changing colors and stuff like that. And it did it to the tune. And when she stopped, it went all back purple. So that's another interesting one there. I wonder if they learned French or whatever in that particular room.
I would be surprised. I mean, that was,
Canadian
they were that well to
whatever,
do.
you know.
I'm sure they did if they were that well to do. But yeah, they were responding with light color.
This
and
family
things.
had money, so they probably learned languages of the countries.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. That's really good. We just took a break and we were in there talking to Terry, so we ran some names past her. And she said,
So you're just hoping the kids will come up and be like, I know that's you, or I mean, not I know that's you, but.
Well, like, if you have like a little girl that likes to dance and twirl, she may connect with a ballet shoe or a shoe similar to that.
Or alternately, it could be an adult like you. It says, why is there a shoe in the middle of the floor? That should be up in the nursery or whatever.
Yeah.
Pick it up and go take it back where it belongs.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
either way.
Yeah, I just happened to find it when we did an event at the Beacon. The child had left it, and there being a theater,
Yeah.
and it usually, do I get responses with it? I don't know, maybe. It's like putting a car out for a little boy to play with.
Well, my favorite thing is
We can do double S's, we can do single S's. You have my blindfolds?
I've had that blindfold.
I know, I have to
And that blindfold is
I don't want to know
like the trigger objects?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The lanterns and things like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
like even as simple, and I know this is gonna sound really weird, but even as simple as putting your hair in pigtails at certain locations is a trigger, because it reminds them of their life back in the day.
Or angles.
Yeah.
And sometimes we come dressed in
Period clothing.
clothing and we're used as.
You guys get ever ghosts that are like of our, like around our time, or is it mostly historical times?
Well, most of the locations that we go to are historic, so there's not many that are new or modern that we do investigate. So, you know, a lot of the historical places that we do go to are, you know, 1800s, 1900s, 1700s.
Well, we do the school, and that's.
Well, besides Goochland, yeah.
Goochland School, that's was a segregated school.
Which school in Goochland? Which school in Goochland? I grew up in
High
Goochland.
school.
Central?
Abandoned Central
Was
High.
the colored high school, became a middle school, and now it's cultural education.
Yeah.
And behind it, the school is actually still there.
It's actually the
And
middle
so
school I went to.
we do get like, the janitor does come through that,
Yeah.
that work there. We think we've talked to the principal. So,
That kids reading an entry level position. You'll hear them talking about kids going down the hallways.
And if you're asking about modern, you can go to a place like Colonial Williamsburg. This is a quick example. You expect something from Colonial Williamsburg era.
Yeah.
What you might get, where were you, what would you do? What do you miss the most? Pizza and Pepsi, that's a modern person, that's a tourist,
Yeah.
that's not.
and just because you're in a building doesn't mean the building's haunted. Sometimes we believe it's the land itself. I've had things walk through our house, I'm pretty sure, and it was a Civil War soldier, and my house was built in 1999. So,
Yeah.
I just want to keep our building and say so. Can you say one of our names? We introduced ourselves earlier.
Who are we speaking with? Who is me? Can you tell me your name?
I keep hearing my.
Are we speaking with Mike or Michael? Yep. Yep. Yep.
Is there more than just Michael here?
How many non-living people are here with us?
11 or 7.
7.
And definitely add anything.
Kevin, what are you doing?
Mike. Hi, Mike. Mike, can you tell us what year it is?
What year is it where you're at right now? Do you want Ben to talk?
What's your message?
And maybe they're interested in the light itself. Like, maybe that's why they keep saying it.
Maybe. I like you.
Yeah.
Is Mike still here?
Can you tell me the name of the person that made this lantern? Can you move the shoe? Yes, that's right here. Can you make this move?
Up in the nursery. It's always air conditioning out, so we can imagine how hot this was on the third floor in August. Yeah, when someone comes up, a little kid comes up and hugs her around the legs. I felt that coldness. And I was like, and they're like, what's the air conditioning? Well, like, the air conditioning is broke on this floor. But that's right above my head. I would feel it at first, not me first. And we're discussing all this.
All the better,
And my
everybody.
husband's over there listening to it all. You can hear, as we're discussing this on the recording, you can hear little voice for us going, that was Betsy. That was my first introduction.
So, is it like, do you feel you get more, like attention from ghosts, like, in random areas, or for places like this? Like,
People generally choose the better because they're decorated.
It depends, like, we were over at
And it was
the
pretty active when we were in there.
Fair Plantation so often that Bessie would, every time I would go there, I would see little Bessie would climb up in my lap. It's really cold when you get that close to it.
yeah.
But how can you tell a 5-year-old, ghost or not, that she can't get into your lap?
I mean, you can't really.
It's just not nice.
No. So you feel like the ghosts are on, like, all in one type of plane? Or do you feel like they're only stuck in their, where they died, that type of loop?
You have residual, which are basically, you're seeing it's the same time of day or year, same time of year, that it's like watching a movie on replay. And then you have interaction. Most of them that are intelligent know they're dead. They also know what's going on around them currently. Some are trapped, some are not. Some think they're trapped, but aren't really. Some are like, I don't want to cross over because that was really bad. I'll have to pay for it if I go.
Yeah.
The ones over in the Flumeri Plantation all know they're dead. They're not trapped, they come and go as they please. They may or may not be there.
So you believe they're all like they can go anywhere, they're not just stuck at?
No, they can go because I know some from the. Hopefully my husband will not watch this. There was a nature spirit in the Civil War, the Exchange Hotel Civil War Medical Museum in Gordonsville that was in the old depot. Well, they were renovating it and it got too loud for her. They stopped taking near her or him for nature spirits. But I associate water and with female, with earth and fire, and so I say she. And I told her she could come home with us.
Oh.
So she stays up in our attic. She's chill. She's really pretty. She's like this tall. She kind of looks like a monkey. but she has lots of her arms, and she's got like.
So when you say nature spirits, are you meaning like, what do you mean by that? Like
closer to like.
Kind of like fairies, maybe, or
no,
not
those
like
are fae.
fairies?
Those
Fae?
are fae. Those
Okay.
are fae. It's more like the Indian concept where you have tree spirits, water spirit.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything has its own spirit. That's what I call nature spirits. Some people call them elementals, which gives them, to me, a negative connotation because people associate that with evil. And they can be, but they generally can only do spiritual damage. And they'll only generally react if they're scared.
Yeah.
And they like an animal, they're gonna, if you're scared, you're going to.
Nursery or small child's room. And in that area, you would have children sharing a bed.
Yeah.
It would be typical to ask male, female, did you have to share the bed with your siblings or the room with your siblings? If yes, how many? What were they? That kind of thing. You might ask something like, did the nanny, come and check on you, or did you have school lessons up here? That kind of thing. You might get answers about that and go off on tangents about that kind of thing. If the furniture or toys are actually from the house, you'd say, well, which one of these items was yours? Can you move it, not ready to touch it, or whatever? So you might get some of that to go on.
Would we need one of those little devices in here?
There's different ways to investigate. Like, a couple of my devices are now dead that I put outside of the car, but you can use anything from a compass, dowsing rods, stuff like that. You can, people that call themselves sensitives will, you can touch me, or whatever, you need a device, or they get mental images or sounds or feelings or whatever. And then you have the scientist group that need to have a device to show something's happening. So, like, what I typically have in the bag that I don't now because it's dead, it's called an EDI Plus. It's a data logger. And so that does vibration, humidity, temperature, EMF, which is electromagnetic fields, like barometric pressure, different things. And then you put that SD card into a computer later and it logs all that out at the same moment on the same overlapping graph to show if you had something suspicious paranormal happen, then these environmental factors change during, slightly before, slightly after that event.
Yeah.
So then, you sort of line it up with recorders and video and stuff like that, and you say, well, yeah, it might have been paranormal because I had a spike in this, I had a change in that, the doll moved, and all this stuff happened. And
do you normally see, like, if you were to say something about the doll, do you normally see a move, maybe?
In some places you would. That example would be like poltergeist activity, where if you have a child or an intense spirit and the energy is there and something moves, sometimes it's paranormal, sometimes it's not. There are times, for example, poltergeist activity is usually through female teenagers, and for whatever reason, that energy kind of inhabits with them a little bit, and when they're in the room and stuff moves, and then when you test the same exact questions and stuff and they leave the room, it doesn't. So the person is actually haunted, not the device or the house or the land or whatever. And so when you do private home paranormal investigations to see if something is haunted or not, in your opinion, because it's just opinion, you can't prove it is, but you can prove that it's not. It's the sense that you have to do the same things with and without those occupants there to see if it's actually the occupants causing it. For example, when I moved in my grandmother's house, the piano played itself and all that kind of stuff. And when I wasn't there, and my parents and stuff would be there cleaning out the house, it never happened near them, but it only happened when I was there. So I got rid of the piano or whatever. So theoretically, I was a filter for whatever energy for that to happen.
Would you feel like the energy would be like unlucky? Like, let's say you just have that energy and then you have all this bad luck. Would that be something, or? Like the energy just be someone whispering like, hey.
There's different types of paranormal activity. Some people have things that are permanently there on the land, and there's ones that pass through, and each of those have different characteristics. So of the ones that are permanently attached to the land, or say the bricks in the building or whatever, there's residual and then there's interactive intelligent. So residual means they do it regardless of who's there, what else is happening.
Yeah.
It happens on a date or time or whatever the triggering conditions are. And so if something's residual there, you might think it responds to you a little bit, but at some point you're gonna realize it's not timely, intelligent answers or doing this or doing that. It's literally just happening, and it seems to be random stuff. No matter who comes in and investigates or leaves tracking equipment, recorders, things like that, it happens regardless of who's there and what's going on. Whereas an interactive, intelligent entity or spirit would be something like, if we're in this room talking about those dolls and you say, is one of those dolls yours? And you hear a yes or see a yes on a piece of equipment, or the doll picks up and moves or whatever. And then you ask a bunch of different things, different pieces of equipment and stuff. You get data from different quantifying things that says that yes, something is there. It's not necessarily in a person's head or whatever. Whereas if nothing in the scientific physical world is provable and happens, it's just in somebody's head, then you get to go to the insane asylum or go to talk to a therapist or whatever. Because
Do you feel like you get more activity when there's not a lot of people or bigger rooms?
well, see, again, it varies because if you're going to call the spirits or ghosts energies of dead people, I'll call them energy memories, then they're like they were in life. Some don't want to interact with you. And you get recordings in the house of it happening when you're not in the room. Like when we go investigate a property and we put cameras in lots of rooms, there's nothing going on in the room we're in, but it's always happening in the next room over, above you, or below you, or whatever. And then, when you move into that space, nothing happens. You move back out of the space and it happens again. There are entities that will do that. And then there's other ones that are more people friendly that like having folks over, learning, or picking on them, making fun of them, or bullying them, or whatever that characteristic was. Then you'll get, there are some that only do things when there's people around. So part of investigating is figuring out what happens when it's empty, what happens when there's occupants in it, what happens when there's workers in it, what happens when there's regular guests or users, and then what happens when you change the people.
Is there an Albert associated with Lion?
I was just downstairs looking at the history for a couple other names that came up. I don't know of one. But let me just say this, in the earlier families, say the mid-1800s to late 1800s, everybody that lived here had like 8 or 9 kids. And I didn't have all those names downstairs. Albert.
All right, so it goes to that one.
Listen to me.
Okay, we're listening.
We're here for you.
Can you tell us your name? Or can you say one of our names that's standing in this room living?
Do you want to be interviewed? Is that why you're asking if we can listen to you?
Can you tell us your name?
Are there toys here you like to play with?
That's me. That's me.
How about those little dolls on the bed? Do you want to play with those? They look like a lot of fun.
If you pick one out, we can play with you.
It's really cold right now.
Feels good. Feels great. Come over here towards me. Stand next to me, please.
Honestly, I felt a little weird. I got a little hot. I was sweating a little bit.
I'm freezing.
Can I have some of that? Come over here next to me. Get over here.
I just smell cold there too.
Yeah, it feels breezy in here.
Please come here. Come next to me. I'll hold your hand. You can climb on my back if you want.
Sorry.
Okay. You don't have to be
I
sorry.
think that was a rejection.
Yeah, it probably was. Story of my life.
Do you play with the tea set over here? I just want to know if any of these pictures up here are you.
If I point to one, can you tell me if this is you?
It's not for you.
Okay.
You point.
In the past, I have gotten none of those.
It's not.
Are you not in any of the pictures on the wall?
Okay, you can set that light off here. Setting the K2 off, can you set the light off?
Did you ever have your photograph taken?
How about here? Is this one you?
Some of them predate photography, so they don't know what a photograph is.
True.
Are these you? Are you in this one?
Lower.
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 I'm gonna put my flashlight on just to see them make it more in the picture.
Which one are you pointing to?
I don't know if lower means straight down or lower as an angled lower.
Or could she mean, or the person mean, you're talking about the other person in the photo, not the baby?
Right. Are you, is this you?
Chair.
What did it say? Here.
Chair.
Where? Oh my God. Hold on. Here's a chair. This is right here. There's a chair in this photo.
Is that you? In the chair, you sure are pretty. What a beautiful picture. That is beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that.
Wow, okay.
Thank you.
Wow. That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, I started tearing up over here a little bit.
Can you tell us your name? That is a beautiful picture of you.
It's so cold over here. Is anybody else freezing?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little cold.
Yeah.
Chill.
Are you feeling cold?
I'm freezing.
Are you feeling cold? Do you feel? No?
Oh my God. I'm freezing right here.
We're not cold, right?
No. As soon as you said chair, I started like, I'm sweating over here.
Wow.
I got a little
So
chills.
you're sweating and you're cold.
I'm
Yeah.
freezing.
That's
Yeah.
the only photo up there with a chair in it.
Did you sleep in this bed that this light is on? Was this your bed?
Do we know if this bed is actually from this house or just a period bed that's appropriate?
We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you give us a time frame? Maybe the year you were around? Maybe we could bring toys from that time.
If we can find them.
3.
Wow, there's that number. Okay.
Oh God.
380.
What does the 3 mean?
Was the three of you in here?
Or is it 1903 or 1803 or 1703?
glad you're talking to us tonight.
Yeah, you don't normally get a lot of verbiage in this room.
So did you enjoy playing with the tea set?
You know, like we used 19, we used 20. And she using 3 for like 1703. Can you elaborate a little more on that 3?
Is it 3 people with you?
So you had 3?
This is crazy.
Is your last name Duval? Did you sleep in this room with your brothers and your sisters?
10 people at a time here. 10
She told me.
She told me.
Who told you? Who's she?
What was your question?
Did your parents force you and your siblings in this one room? Do you dislike us asking you questions right now?
K2 Luna.
Is there dogs in this room? Stop recording.
That is common. We get that everywhere we go.
Yeah, they do not like us recording.
Oh, is he recording video?
You recording video?
We're both recording.
not.
She does. You know what's funny? Because I keep asking her stuff, and she's like,
Oh, wow. So
and we're recording.
okay.
Why do you want us to stop recording?
Will you tell us what we want to know if we stop recording?
There's dolls on the bed too.
There's lots of dolls in this room when you struggle.
Are these your dollies in here?
You want us to stop recording so you can answer more questions?
I just want to know if you made it.
Watching you.
Watching me. Watching
Sounded like
you.
watching you.
Oh my god.
Watching you.
Oh Jesus. I just got chills.
Okay, so you're watching us.
So, question about the app: is it always the same voice, or does it do male, female?
It's the same voice.
Same voice. Okay.
Did you make any of these dollies that are on the bed with you?
I wonder if she's just sitting behind over there watching you. Because you keep feeling cold, and then there's the chair.
Yeah, there's 2 chairs by your bed.
Oh, the chair.
There used to be a chair in that corner, but now there's a bed over there.
Over here.
There used to be a chest with like a drawing board and stuff on it.
Did you used to stay in the chair over in the corner? Did you sit in the chair?
Yeah, there was a creepy doll in that corner.
Did you make this doll right here? This beautiful doll? Can you tell me the doll's name? Or this one? Did you make this doll here?
He told me.
He told me. So we've had she told me and then he told me.
Can you
Could it be your sister and your brother?
Yeah, they're either siblings or there's a nanny figure that's saying don't do something.
You want me to put the dolls back? I'll put the dolls back.
going through their dolls. We've asked you a bunch of questions. Do you have any questions you would like us to answer for you? We're open to answering any questions you have. And now is when you get the awkward, weird questions to the machine.
None of us can answer.
Sometimes, some places you do that, and they do. It comes really quick like that. It's nuts. Sometimes it's like a comedic thing.
Do you like to play games? Grandmother.
Ooh.
Grandmother.
So
With your grandmother.
What games?
What's going on?
What games do you like to play? Restless. Oh, you're restless.
would you like us to play with you, or would you like us to leave so you can get your rest?
Y'all want to take a break? Take a little walk around?
Who is Albert?
All right, we're going to take a break. Can you say goodbye to us? We'll come back and say hi in a little bit. All right, I'm going to stop this. Can you say goodbye real quick?
Hi.
Everybody's going to say help.
Help. Oh my god.
Okay, that's not what I was expecting.
What do you need help with?
Can you tell us?
We can try to help you.
How can we help you?
Do you need a doctor, for example? Do you not feel good?
Are you trapped here?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So there's 3. Who are the 3 people? Is it your grandma with you here? Who's the other one?
Is it your brother and sister?
I know.
You know that your grandma's here? You know, I'm a grandma too. I'd sure like to meet you.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. We're going to continue this conversation, okay? We're going to introduce ourselves one at a time before we leave out of here. And when we come back, we're going to see if you can remember our names.
Cody.
Taylor.
Rusty.
Amy.
Grandma Wells.
Kevin.
Trinity.
Corbin.
Kristen.
And Paul.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for talking with us, and we will be back so you can remember our names, okay? Goodbye. Can you say goodbye?
That was crazy. That's so good.
So that's an example of getting data on one device.
Yeah.
Learn whether to trust it, whether you think it was interactive or not, whether you think it was random or not, and that kind of thing. And different people have different opinions on that. So that's why you have such different responses to whether a place is haunted or somebody's there or not. Because how much do you trust a device or a technique or a person or whatever? Like psychic mediums in here telling you what you just saw. Do you trust it?
I don't know. I kept getting chills, and
I wish I was.
as soon as she said stop recording is when I was like, oh God.
I didn't know we all recording them.
Yeah.